So process builder. Process builder is so this is also an automated tool. Like what we did in workflows, what we did in approval processes. So just like that, this is also an automated tool. But yes, it is an automated tool that allows us to control the order of actions. So the order of action, suppose there are there are more than one action, right? So in that case, if if I want to make one action automated and thereafter another option automated, right? Then this type of tool could be used. So this is process builder, and similarly, a process builder is just like workflow rule, but the difference is that suppose a workflow is also an automated tool, and yes, process builder is also an automated tool, but the difference is that workflow workflow is going to retire. Yes, workflow is going to retire, and this is a new tool, right? So it may take a workflow's position, right? So we need to learn this also, right? Therefore, we are going to learn about process builder. So a process builder is just like a flow chart. You might have well aware about the flow chart. You might have drawn flow chart in your schools. So what is flow chart? Flow chart is a graphical representation of some processes, right? So flowchart is a graphical representation of some processes. Just like flowchart, this is also a kind of flowchart where all the processes, what we are doing, all the processes will be in front of us, and according to that, we can easily determine which process we are going to automate. So let's go to our org. So by using process builder, we can do many things. By using process builder, we can create we can do so we can send email notifications. We can send email notifications. So we uh, can submit uh, uh, a record for approval. And we can update records. In fact, we can do many more things, right? So these are some basic things we can do with the process builder. By using process builder, we can do these basic things, and in fact, not only these things. There are also some major things we can do with that. But now we are going to read about learn about these things only, right? So let's see. Suppose there is a candidate. Suppose there is a candidate. Suppose I'm going to create a candidate with fees less than 10,000. Trainer candidate. So whenever I'm going to create a candidate with the fee is less than 10,000. Suppose this maybe 8,300, right? So in that case, I need approval. Whenever fee is less than 10,000, I need approval. Suppose it's a candidate and fee is less than 10,000. So after creating, I need to go to this option and select this button, right? To submit for approval. Okay. But now I want to make this process automated. I don't want to go every time and click this button. Whenever I create a candidate, I don't want to go to this option and submit it for approval. I want to submit it at, I want to automate this process, right? So for that, I need process builder. So is it clear why we need process builder? This is just a case, just a single case. So suppose what is the use case? Use case one would be yes, the same thing what I talked about. If fees is less than 10, if fees is less than 10,000, then automatically submit the record for approval. Submit the record for approval. So this is the use case. If fees is less than 10,000, then submit the record for approval automatically. So let's see. Let's go to the in quick find box. We'll search for process builder. Here is the process builder. You can see that process automation is there. So this process builder is process automation. Yes. So here it is. Go with the flow with flow builder. The future of low code automation. Yes. In workflows, it was also mentioned that it is a low code automation, right? So that was it was also mentioned in workflows that the workflow is going to retire, right? But here it is mentioned that the future of low code automation. So this is I think this could take the place of workflows, right? So here I'll go to new and continue in process builder. Here the process name. What process I'm going to create? I'm going to create a candidate. Uh, candidate. Uh, Only candidate process. So leave the description box empty, and here you need to select one option, and that is a record changes, and save this record. So here you can see there is a flow chart in front of us. So the first is start, and here add object. So now second option is that we are going to add object. So what object we are working on? We are working on candidate object. So candidate. So select this candidate object. And here you can see that only when a record is created and when a record is created or edited. So now I will select this option only when record is created. So here first step is complete. Now we'll have to add criteria. So what the criteria is? The criteria is uh, if the fees is less than 10K, right? So the criteria here is fee is less than 10,000. So the criteria, yes, the criteria name is maybe, what can we put criteria name? Uh, okay, fee criteria. So it's fee criteria, and what the criteria is, their conditions are met. So what field we are going to put fees? Fees is less than 10,000. So it's okay, and all of the conditions are met. So leave it and save this. So free correct criteria is fulfilled. Now you can see that there are two types of actions here. You can see that immediate action and scheduled action, right? So immediate action is similar to immediate action where in workflows, and scheduled action is similar to time dependent actions, right? In workflows we learned about time dependent actions. So the scheduled action is same that time dependent action, and immediate is the same that independent action. So here I'll select this option, and yes, select action type. So action type, for action type I'll select as yes. What we are going to do, we are going to submit for approval. I want to automate what process I want to automate, submit for approval process. So select submit for approval, and action name, candidate fee approval. approval process. So approval process, this is uh, not a default approval process. This is a specific approval process. And in a specific approval process, this is candidate fee approval process, right? So we have to select specific approval process here, and then candidate fee approval process here. You can see three options. So we can select any of these options, but I don't want to do any changes. So leave it as current user, and I'm going to save this. So you can see that the process is ready. Yes, when the process is ready, you can activate it and confirm. So once this process is completed, I need to check whether it is right or is there something missing. So for this, I'm creating a candidate. So first, let's refresh this. So what we have done, we have created a process in process builder that whenever fee is less than 10,000, right? Whenever fee is less than 10,000, then submit the record for approval automatically. So this is the use case, and we have created it. Now I'm going to create a candidate with fee less than 10,000. So suppose C11 is a candidate with the fee less than 10,000, that is 8,000 or 7,500. Anything, anything below 10. And yeah, select channel and save. So you can see that the approval here, approval process is showing pending, right? But initially, when we were creating, let me check in other candidate which I created, candidate pane, what is showing in its detail. So you can see that his fee is less than 10,000, right? So in that case, here 8,300, and we don't submit it for we didn't submit it for approval, right? So it is showing an empty field. But in the candidate we created now, that is candidate number 11. So in this candidate we haven't submitted it for approval, but the status, the approval status is showing here pending. That means the process has been automated. It has been sent for approval. Check the related list. So here you can see that approval is pending, right? But it is submitted, the request is submitted for approval. So I hope it's clear. Yes. So let's create another. Let's see another use case. So use case number 2. Yes, send email notification. So email notification we did in workflows, right? Now we'll do this by using process builder. So go to here, view all processes and new, continue in process builder, and here the name should be uh, candidate process. Yes, candidate process 2. Okay, same record changes, save, add object. So this is also on candidate. It is just showing that candidate already has active record change processes. Right. So it means whenever any process is active, whenever any process is active, any process which we created. So whenever any process is active, you can't create another process on the same object, right? So for creating uh, other process, we need to deactivate or make the process inactive, right? Is it clear? It means suppose when there is an existing process that is working, that is active. So in that case, if I want to create any other process, so it will prohibit me to do that. Anybody wants to say anything? Right. So you can see that this process is active. First of all, I need to make this process inactive. Then I could create another process, right? Or I could add in this process one. So let's do that. We'll try to add in the second process. When I am adding a candidate object, it is prohibiting me to do that. So go to view process. Okay, let's make the first process inactive. So you can see that deactivate. So let's deactivate it. So both the processes are inactive. So here the process is inactive, but you can see this stop button, right? It will prohibit you to automate this process. Suppose this is the process we are going to create, right? And whenever this process is not stopped, right? So this will prohibit me to automate this process. Therefore, I need to stop this. For stopping this, I need to clone it and suppose 3. So you can give any name and save it. To contain the process will be defined by showing is saying that define the next criteria now. So to edit properties. Let's see. Okay, but this button is not visible yet. Okay, let's make some other process and then we'll see that it's working or not. Here you can see that both the processes are inactive. So let's go to candidate process 3, 2, and now try to add object. The object is same, that is candidate. Yes, this time it allows you to add. So when a record is created, say, so here add criteria. Yes. So in workflow rules, we also made same thing. Okay, let's see workflow rules. So here, workflow rules. The process is active somewhere, right? In workflows or in process builder, then it will not allow you to create or to automate. So these are the, yes, this is the active. This is this one. So evaluate the rule when a record is created. So it was the same. So we need to make it deactive. So as this rule has been deactivated, now we'll go to view all, and here let's refresh. So yes, we were working on this. So yes, add criteria, and the criteria name is email. So the criteria is email, and here the field is email ID. Email ID equals not equals. Email ID does not equal blank, or you can put none. Right, both are same. So here the case is email ID should not be blank. Then it could be applied. So all the conditions are met, and save this. Now here we can add action. So action type is email alert, and action name is uh, yes. Whenever we are going to create any candidate, so it's let us put this name as creation alert. Creating email ID. Okay. Creating candidate alert. Okay. So creating candidate alert and an email alert. So for email alert, we'll have to give the same name with which we made workflow rules. So it's candidate welcome email, right? Copy it and paste it here. Yes, it is showing. So select it and save this. So as this action has been prepared, so now we are going to activate this. Now I am going to create one candidate whose email field should not be blank. So before creating, let us replace it. Now, suppose this is uh, C1 process builder. Here email ID is, and we need to provide some fee because there is a validation rule that uh, an email ID is filled, then fee should not be blank. Okay, and select the trainer. Save this record. So you can see this welcome email for candidate. Right. I hope it's clear, or let's see it one more time. So what we did, we just uh, made a process from a process builder that whenever a candidate is created, whenever a record for candidate is created, we need to send the email notifications. So there are some prerequisites in this. First of all, we need to check whether if there is any active workflow rules, right? Because this process builder and workflow rules both are alike. That's why if workflow rule is working, then process builder will not work, right? And if you have created any workflow rules, so you have to use the same email email ID name, right? Like I used here by copying it from here. Yes, unique name, right? So you have to use the same unique name because this unique name has some template, right? And if you want to use that template only, then only you have to copy it from here and paste it there, right? And if not, then you have to create your own email template, right, for this option. So here I selected the object candidate, then the process, what process we are going to do, right? And what its criteria? The criteria is that email field should not be blank, right? Then only we need to send the email. And yes, the action. So then at last we activated this. So this is the sending email notifications to a candidate whenever it is created. Is there any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, 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 yes,
So my question is, if we have multiple candidates, like if we
yes.
say if we have 100 candidates with us, and if we have
Yes.
to send them the confirmation email or the approval at the same time, then what condition would we be applying on it?
So if we need to send email, welcome email, right? Like in the second process, in the second process we did, if we
Mhm.
need to send emails, right, then this process will work. Then we could use
Current one.
this process, right? Yes,
Okay.
current process. We could use this process to send email whenever a candidate is created.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, and what was your question?
My
Second question?
question was, if we have 100 candidates and
Yes,
we have to send them the welcome email at the same time,
yes,
I mean to the entire 100 candidates. So we
yes,
need to
yes,
follow
yes.
the same steps without deactivating it one by one.
No, 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 no. We are creating on this object, right? We are
Yeah.
not creating for a single candidate.
Okay.
Suppose any rule is created for any object, then
Mm-hmm.
it will employ in all the candidates which we are creating. Either we are creating from a spreadsheet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So suppose if we are going to create 100 candidates, so we can't create it one by one. We can use spreadsheets where all the details will be provided, and we need to just import from that, right?
Okay.
So in that case, whenever all uh, candidates are created and there is email ID in all candidates email field, right?
Mhm.
So the email will go to all of them at the same time.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
तो सिंगल मैं प्रोसेस बिल्डर पे अगर वर्क कर रहा हूँ तो ईमेल के लिए मुझे
हाँ,
टेम्पलेट फिर से क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा.
अगर आप न्यूली क्रिएटेड भेजना चाहते हैं, then you have to create your own email template. Otherwise, if you want to send the same email template to that candidate, to any candidate, so you can, in that case you can copy uh, and paste it, right? You can copy from workflow and paste it in process builder. If you have created workflow first, right? If you have created workflow first, तो ऐसा होता नहीं है. ऐसा इसलिए नहीं होता है कि either you have to work on workflows or you have to work on flow builders, right? Or process builders, right? सो ऐसा होता नहीं है. सो बट इफ इन केस, तो उस समय आप या तो ईमेल टेम्पलेट क्रिएट करेंगे, अदरवाइज यू हैव टू कॉपी इट फ्रॉम
बट यहाँ पे
प्रीवियस.
ऑप्शन तो यहाँ पे ईमेल टेम्पलेट्स का ऑप्शन नहीं किया था सिलेक्ट करने का, ये आपने जो प्रोसेस किया था।
one second. क्या क्या करना चाह रहा है?
प्रोसेस बिल्डर को जो वेलकम नोटिफिकेशन सेंड करना चाहते हैं या ईमेल नोटिफिकेशन सेंड करना चाहते हैं, तो वहाँ पे अभी कोई ऑप्शन शो नहीं हुआ है सिलेक्ट करने का ईमेल टेम्पलेट्स। आपने कॉपी किया है अभी?
हाँ हाँ, कॉपी किया है।
तो मैं सिंपली इस पे जाना चाहता हूँ, प्रोसेस बिल्डर तो मैं कर रहा हूँ सिर्फ और मैं इस पे करना चाहता हूँ, तो उसमें ऑप्शन कोई नहीं आता, मुझे कॉपी करना होगा।
Your voice is breaking. One second, let me do it once again if you have any problem. So let me first deactivate this. Every time when you need to do any changes, right? So when you need to do any changes, you need to deactivate this, right? So here, you was talking about here, right? Okay. Let me see. Will it allow? Not. Okay. So yes. Email alert. Here action name is zero action name. Here you can see that select an existing email alert for the object that is this process is associated with. Right. If none exists, create one. You can see that there is an option
Yes,
of creating one. Right.
yes, sir.
I hope you are asking about this.
Yes, of course.
Right. So you can see that there is an option of creating a new email template. Either if you have available, you can use that. But if you don't have available, then you can create your own. Right.
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.